You and your husband believe a better life could await you on the other side of the world. But what if neither of you have visited the country you've set your heart on and you've got to persuade your reluctant 15-year-old son to join you? The Zemans are a family in crisis.
Do we stay together and work through it, or we just call it a day?
But while Dad Brian's convinced Australia's the answer...
It's not a rat race, is it really? It is a much slower, relaxed way of life.
Stepson Georgie doesn't want to leave the UK.
It's all I know, all my friends and family here. I love it and it's great.
And if he won't go, no one will.
He's my baby. And if he was to say, his mum, I don't want to go, then I wouldn't go.
With more than 10,500 beaches, at the rate of one a day, it would take nearly 30 years to explore all the sun and sea Australia has to offer. Laid out straight, the country's coastline would reach right around the world. And with more kangaroos than people, there's plenty of room for the 34,000 Brits that head down under every year, hoping to make the country their new home. Desperate for more time together, pilot Brian Zeman has set his sights on a move to Australia. Wife Sam could be on board, but only if the country offers them the lifestyle they're yearning for, and they can persuade her son to join them. By the end of their week down under, they'll either have their dream cleared for takeoff or have the brakes put on a move for the foreseeable future. It takes the Zemans an exhausting 20 hours in the air to get to Australia. And as they touched down in Perth, even seasoned airman Brian's felt the strain.
It was a long flight, especially with 3 naughty monkeys.
For Sam, the flight was nothing less than torture.
Sleep deprivation, annoyance, anger.
Generally all the emotions.
Yeah, generally all the emotions you could ever dream of and think of.
With the trip behind them, Brian's cautiously optimistic about the week ahead.
It feels good to finally get here. Hopefully it lives up to its expectation and does the work for me.
But George is only too aware of the pressure on him.
Very nervous. I'm gonna try and be open-minded. Yeah, gonna try.
Brian will need to have both feet on the ground this week if he's to persuade Sam and Georgie Australia's where their future lies. Back in the UK, the Zemans live in Essex. Their dad, Brian, mum, Sam, 15-year-old Georgie, Sam's son from a previous marriage, Gracie, aged 6, twins Isabel and Lewis, who are 5, and Obi, the dog. Sam charmed Brian 8 years ago in a nightclub.
The words were, "You're a bit of all right, would you like to buy me a drink?"
Yeah.
And you did.
The couple married 2 years later, but Brian's high-flying career as a pilot means family life's far from what it should be.
Potentially I'm away for 3 weeks a month, which is a long time to be away.
Being mostly home alone has seen Sam struggle.
I become 2 parents. I'm mum, dad, and I also work. So it's a lot to deal with.
And left her feeling isolated and lonely.
And I have got friends, but it's not the same as, you know, having your husband around. Oh my God! It's not the same as, you know, having your husband around to support you.
Being separated from his family hasn't been easy for Brian either.
Missing out on the children growing up on key parts of their life, I've been missing them. It's time I'll never get back again.
The past 2 years has seen the pair's relationship pushed to the limit.
I worked away for one particular time, was 4 months, so things really hit a low between us.
I got depressed. It wasn't a good place.
No, it was awful.
We stay together and work through it, or we just call it a day.
I did fear that Dad had run its course, that we were through.
Desperate to save their marriage and be the family they dream of, the couple's thoughts turned to emigrating.
And it was, okay, if we're going to do this, where would we go? We looked at New Zealand, Canada, but we both agreed on Australia.
Brian believes flying in Australia would avoid stays away, letting him become the family man he yearns to be.
Moving to Australia, the key to actually going and doing it has to be the job whereby I can be home, take the strain off Sam and be with my children a lot more. It's very important.
And having been born in South Africa, he feels his children would benefit from the idyllic outdoors upbringing he enjoyed.
The move to Australia for the kids will give them a lot more freedom. It's not a rat race, is it really? It is a much slower, relaxed way of life.
Sam is up for a move, but Australia will have to definitely deliver on the promise of more time together as a family.
I like the idea of emigrating to Australia, but if it's not going to give me the lifestyle change, then what's the point in going?
Yeah, it's fine. You can't cut it wrong.
A far bigger obstacle to the family starting a new life down under lies in the shape of Sam's son.
Georgie's views on Australia is that he's not going. That's it.
15-year-old Georgie and his mum are especially close.
You know, when I split up from his dad, me and Georgie were together for 5-6 years on our own. He's my firstborn, he's my first baby, and he'll always be my baby.
But he also enjoys a great relationship with his dad, one which he doesn't want to give up.
Yeah, I'm very close to my dad. I love him to bits. I don't think I could live without him.
George is my world. I live for George, and I'd miss him so much.
For Georgie, starting a new life 9,000 miles away from home just feels like too big a leap.
It's all I know, all my friends and family here. I love it, and it's great. I just feel like if I go to Australia and I make the choice, I'll be stuck there and I won't be able to come back.
Leaving Georgie behind just isn't an option for Sam or Brian.
I don't view him as my stepson. He's my son. You can't leave a child behind, can you really?
I want to see him grow up. He's my baby, and I want to be there for him all the time. And if he was to say, Mum, I don't want to go, then I wouldn't go.
While Australia could deliver Brian and Sam the family life they're dreaming of,
this week could change all our lives.
They both know where they spend their future could ultimately lie in George's hands.
It all hangs in the balance as to whether he decides he wants to move out there as well.
Brian's going to be really upset and really disappointed if he really likes it. And I'm the one who's saying, no, we're not going because Georgie doesn't want to go.
The Zemans are spending their trial week in Perth. Boasting an average temperature of 19 degrees, the city's one of the most isolated in the world, but is home to pristine parks and beautiful beaches. Their base for the week is an 80-year-old timber house in a quiet inner-city suburb. As the family arrive, first impressions are not exactly enthusiastic.
Not much garden space. Nice view.
Well, that's something at least. Brian's determined to put a positive spin on things.
I like it. I'm usually pleased, though.
But
I don't like the road we're in. I don't like the houses. This looks really tiny. This looks like a shed.
they're not even through the front door, but already there's an argument.
I'm panicking now.
Stop panicking over nothing.
I feel like I'm being really horrible.
You are.
It's not the start Brian had been hoping for, but things do improve indoors.
It's all right. It's high ceilings.
That's more like it. The children are making themselves at home, but there's no sign of Sam settling in.
It's nice as a base, but I wouldn't want this as a home. I'm not really this negative. I don't feel anything. I don't feel like really happy that I'm here.
It's going to be harder than I thought.
Brian's barely off the starting blocks, but already his dream is looking shaky.
It's going to be a real
tough week, I think.
I am 15 and I feel as there's a lot of pressure on me. If I make my opinion, it will change everybody else's decision.
There is an awful lot at stake. If I can't convince them, then this is going to be my only trip to Australia.
We all have to want it at the end of the week. We all have to want to emigrate. We all have to choose Australia.
Brian and Sam currently rent in the UK. They've set themselves a budget of £400,000 for a home in Australia and know exactly what they want.
5 bedrooms, games room, a nice pool.
A nice outdoor patio area whereby I can have barbecues. Like an outdoor kitchen would be fantastic. It's the outside, you know, the garden area. The outdoor living is very important, more so than the house.
Today we're giving the couple the chance to see just what their £400,000 could buy them in Perth. They'll view 3 houses, 2 close to budget and a third which could be their dream home.
This is the posh area.
No.
The day begins in the suburb of Forestfield. Just 30 miles south of Perth city centre, the 70s suburb offers a rural feel while boasting plenty of amenities for family living.
This is really nice. This is really quite cute.
Will this spacious 5-bedroom home be to Sam and George's liking?
Massive.
It is a big house. It's lovely.
A bit different to where we're staying.
It's a thumbs up for the outside at least.
Oh, this is nice.
Nice and light.
It is, isn't it? It's nice.
It's a good start.
Bedroom. A bit weird.
I like it. I like this.
Bedroom on the
This would
ground
be,
floor,
I'd say
off
this
the
would be-
hallway when you come in.
But a guest bedroom downstairs could be perfect for someone.
What do you think, Georgie?
I quite like it.
Down here, away from everyone.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea, yeah.
It's a good idea, 'cause you can come and go.
That's Georgie sorted. And it's not long before Sam finds her perfect space too.
Seen this one? Cupboard. Oh my God, look! Right, see you later. Bye, kids.
Upstairs, the large family living area comes with a view of bushland.
It's really nice, I like it.
Looks pretty good. Looks homey.
Sam and Georgie seem sold, and with a modern kitchen, Brian's also feeling right at home.
Oh, I could see myself living here. It's exactly what I wanted.
With 5 bedrooms, there's plenty of space for everyone.
You kids can have a room each. How cool's that?
And for Mum and Dad, a room with a view.
It's definitely got to be our room.
Yeah, look at that view.
With the balcony and the view. It's
Yeah,
really nice.
I could wake up to that every morning.
You wake up to me every morning, that should be enough.
Yeah, I could wake up to that every morning.
Outdoors lies a perfect pool.
Oh my God!
That's
Wow.
pretty cool, isn't it? Wow.
Wow. The whole surroundings is
It's amazing.
astonishing.
It really is.
Sold.
This house could be the perfect fit for the Zemans, but is it somewhere they could afford to call home with their £400,000 budget?
I reckon it's a lot of money.
How much?
525.
525.
525.
I reckon 475. Right. Should we find out?
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
£410,000.
That's a lot cheaper than I thought.
Me too.
Wow.
It's just £10,000 over budget.
I think it's a fantastic start to this. It shows you just how much house you can get for the money. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm still shocked, actually.
After a shaky start to his week, Brian's hopes for a life down under could be on the up. Will Property 2 keep his dream on track?
This is really quite cute, actually, isn't it?
It's in the leafy suburb of Kalamunda. The largest town in the Perth Hills, the area's just a 15-minute drive from the city's airport, which could come in handy for Brian. This large 5-bedroom property has all the outdoor space the Zemans could need. But will it impress as much as the first one?
It's nice.
It's a nice first
I
impression,
like
is
it.
it? Lovely. Nice garden. It's very,
Nice.
very presentable.
So far, so good.
This is nice. Wow.
I like this. This is really nice.
I love it. It's bigger, it's very homey.
The new custom-built kitchen has Sam feeling right at home.
Kitchen and the dining room table there, the kids could be sitting there, you know, doing their homework, and I could pottering around in the kitchen.
Oh.
The large family living area's a hit.
Wow.
Wow, that's nice, isn't it?
This is nice.
Sam's making all the right noises.
This feels like home to me. I can imagine myself in here.
And that's music to Brian's ears.
I'm very pleased that you've said that now. You're starting to warm up to come over to the dark side. What about you, Jade?
I think I like it just as much. No, it's the...
OK, so we're on a par now, are we?
Yeah.
Brian could be on a winning streak, and the sleeping quarters come up to scratch too.
Nice space.
Opens up to the front garden as well. That's quite good, it's quite handy.
When you make me a coffee in the morning, I can go and sit out there and have it. His and her sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the shower. That's really nice. Oh, I like it.
Outdoors has the entertaining space the couple are looking for.
This is unusual.
It's just not where Sam expected to find it.
Comes out into the front of the house, which is making me wonder what's at the back of the house.
Yeah.
Is this it?
Time to find out, and Sam's not disappointed.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Would you have a roof on it, though?
It could offer some privacy.
Use it all the time, can't you?
Go skinny dipping.
Anything goes, Sam. This property has delivered everything the family wanted, but is it within reach of their £400,000 budget?
How much do you reckon it is?
I reckon 440.
440. Really?
440. Gracie, turn it over. £400,000. It's cheaper.
It's bang on budget.
It's very cheap.
I'm shocked about that.
Fantastic. It's a hell of a lot of ask for that as well.
The perfect fit at the perfect price, and still one house to go. The final stop of the day is Les Murdy. It's a popular semi-rural suburb also situated in the Perth Hills, but it doesn't seem to be working its charm on Sam.
Not feeling this area.
No?
No. No. No.
Oh dear. The area may not be giving good vibes, but will this family-friendly 5-bedroom property impress?
It's pretty here. The driveway is really nice.
That's a much more positive reaction.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice.
While the children take a break with a childminder, Sam, Brian and Georgie explore further.
Dining room.
Open plan.
Very open.
Just all flows, doesn't it? It's a nice kitchen. Yeah, it's nice. It's not wowing me, but it's a nice kitchen.
The walk-in larder gives food for thought, though.
Wow, this is big.
The bedrooms offer plenty of space for a growing family.
It's a nice size
It's
bedroom.
nice, actually. It's a nice sized room. This would be like one of the girls' rooms.
With 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and generous living areas, this property could be perfect for the Zeman's needs. But there's one feature Sam's not sure about.
Is it just me, or is there a lot of doors in this house? We'd have to put tags on them so we know where he was going. Pick a door!
Wow, OK. Well, she has a nervous breakdown. I'm going to have a seat.
Time to move on, if Brian can find his way.
Just lost. I'm looking for the front door.
Who'd have thought doors could be that much fun?
OK, let's go and see how many doors there are in the West Wing. Master bedroom. They got curtains hanging up there.
While there's plenty of space, the decor's maybe not quite to Sam and George's taste.
It's quite dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite dark.
It's a bit gothic-y.
Oh, the ensuite. Wow, it's massive.
A spa bath.
Oh, well, yeah.
Nice.
Outdoors, the massive alfresco living area's a big hit.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Whoa.
This is what I like.
It's everything Sam and Brian had in mind.
I spend most of my time out, yeah. Oh,
Lovely.
look.
Bar.
Bar as well. Wow. This is exactly where I want to move down here for the outdoor living. A lovely pool.
That's beautiful. I like it.
Beyond the pool, the grounds seem to stretch out forever.
Jeez.
What do you use it for?
Football pitch.
Sam's overwhelmed.
I never thought you'd get this much space in Australia.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're going to pay for it.
This home's everything Sam and Brian could have hoped for, but will it be within reach of the family's £400,000 budget?
I'm going big, 600.
Okay.
Just because of the space and because it's a desirable area.
I'm gonna go
Play it safe in the middle.
695.
Okay, Isabel, you turn it over. Not 560,000. Wow. We're really bad at this, aren't we? Wow, that's actually...
We're terrible.
At roughly a third over budget, Brian and Sam would need a big increase in salary to afford this home, but they're still impressed.
It just goes to show how...
Yeah, how much you can get for your money out here.
It really is.
Definitely.
Overall, it's been a positive day on the property hunt in Perth. House number 1 got the day off to a flying start with a perfect pad for Georgie and a room with a view for Brian and Sam. Property 2 wowed everyone, with plenty of room for outdoor entertaining and a sparkling pool. And though the doors caused confusion, Property 3 really was the dream home, though it had a price tag to match. With Lewis still napping, will the family choose homes in Australia over those they could have in the UK?
So after looking at 3 properties in Australia today, it's now time to vote.
UK! Ah, just kidding. Australia. What? Australia? Oh. Pleased you saw sense, boy.
Yeah, I know, well... The houses
really
are well
dispute
nice, aren't they? So much better than the UK, so...
That's good.
Good.
That's good.
Votes for Australia from Sam and Georgie mean the country could be beginning to work its wonders. But with his job the whole reason behind a move, Brian finding the right role down under will be crucial. Back in the UK, he's a commercial pilot.
I love my job. I wake up and get to fly aeroplanes every day, which is what I've always dreamed to do.
Sam's been a bookkeeper since she was 18.
It gets my mind working.
Ideally, Sam would spend more time at home if the family made the move, but that would depend on Brian bringing in more money.
I would have to work. I wouldn't want to, but I'd have no choice.
But Brian knows the salary won't be Sam's key consideration.
If I can't find a job where I'm home more, she will not move to Australia.
Everything could ride on today as the couple set out to explore what opportunities might exist for them in Perth. We've arranged for Brian to meet with David Clark, a pilot recruitment agent, and unfortunately for Brian, David starts with some bad news.
The jobs market for pilots in Australia is bad at the moment. It is saturated, and also the more general aviation side is very, very depressed because the mining and oil and gas markets are very, very poor at the moment.
With Perth's economy having taken a nosedive, it's far from the ideal time to be job hunting, but Brian's prospects could take off in a few years.
I think the long-term perspective is very, very good. Boeing put out a forecast recently. There needs to be 550,000 new pilots in the next 20 years.
Landing a job now could be tricky, but if he secured one later on, how much could Brian earn?
If you were to get work on the ATR, you'd be looking at a salary of anywhere between £40,000 and £50,000 sterling.
At least it's the same as what I'm on now. Of course, you'd always like more, but that's positive.
With no increase in salary, Sam would have to carry on working. Across town, she's gone to meet expat Mary McArdle, a bookkeeping and accounting recruitment specialist.
Sam, how are you?
I'm good, you?
The meeting starts well.
Looking at your CV, I mean, all the good things I can see about it and the experience you have, definitely it's very, very good.
But soon takes a turn for the worse.
In a different market. We get about 90 responses to every advertisement we put in for a bookkeeper.
Sam could really struggle to find work too.
I'm not saying you won't get a job. You will get something down the line.
Yeah.
But it will take time initially because you just couldn't walk in here and get straight into a job straight away. In all the years I've been in this industry, I have never seen anything like it, ever.
Right, okay.
Sam's disappointed.
I would have liked to have heard something different.
I understand that.
But it is what it is.
And salary-wise?
The salary that you would expect to get to start would be about 19,000 sterling to 23,000 sterling.
It's around the same as Sam currently earns in the UK. Working in Australia won't deliver a higher income for either her or Brian.
Well, thank you for seeing me today. It's been a real eye-opener.
The harsh reality of Perth's employment market has given Sam pause for thought.
Obviously, I'm not going to be able to just come out here and get a job, which is obviously going to put a lot more pressure on us as a family and a lot more pressure on Brian. So it's definitely opened my eyes.
With work hard to come by and flat salaries, it's not been the best of days for Brian and Sam. But could Australia deliver the time at home Brian wanted?
Ah, John.
Hi, how are you going?
No, good.
Come on, and I'll show you what's going on.
Thanks.
John Douglas is head training pilot at Western Australia's Royal Aero Club and has 50 years of flying experience.
One thing about Australia is that because of the route structure of the feeder line airline, most of those jobs are home every night type jobs.
Okay.
Finally, some good news. Being home every night could make all the difference in persuading Sam to make the move. John also thinks Brian's experience could help him stand out from the crowd of job applicants.
See, there's a lot of pilots in Australia that don't have jet experience by having 700 hours. That is quite significant.
It could take some perseverance, but John's convinced Brian could have a career in Australia.
People still have to go places. People still have to do things.
Yeah.
And so there is definitely an ongoing need for pilots. If you really want to do something, you just push forward and do it.
Yeah, of course. With the right attitude. Yeah, of course.
When the couple meet to compare notes, Brian is feeling more encouraged about work down under.
I still feel quite positive about it. I think it's what I expected to hear. As long as I'm positive and put myself out there, there is work.
But Sam isn't sharing his optimism.
How do you feel about it?
Feeling quite negative, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Came out here and I just wanted everything to be perfect, you know. Bookkeeping work, there is work out there, but not for me. It's more for local people.
Okay.
Things are pretty bad at the moment.
So after everything they've learned today, how will the couple vote?
After a day of interviews, some maybe ups and downs, it's time to vote. UK.
There you go.
You agree on this one?
Yes, we agree on this one.
To be honest,
It's not that good,
no,
is it?
well, not for job market. It really surprised me with your job. That was actually quite a surprise.
It's going to be hard for me to find a job here, and we're going to have to really sit down and think about jobs now.
With their work prospects down under not as promising as either Brian or Sam had hoped, the couple's dream life down under could be fading fast. But the move's always been about the chance to spend more quality time together. So will a family day out Aussie style prove a winner and help get Georgie on side? The family head into the Perth Hills for a spot of horse riding.
How's that?
Fine.
Okay.
But saddling up maybe isn't Brian's idea of fun.
You looking forward to it?
Nope.
Give it a go, you might like it.
So how are you feeling about this?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely overwhelmed, aren't you?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that excited?
I've never really ridden horses before, so I'm not really looking forward to it. But you never know, could change my mind.
There you go.
Well done, good girl.
I don't know where we're going.
It's Georgie's first time on a horse as well.
Go on, Zara. Going the wrong way.
Looks like Zara's got a mind of her own.
That's the way. Over there. Okay, turn round. Yeah, that's it. Go. not too fast.
Well, she does have a lot of catching up to do, Georgie.
Georgie, how you doing?
I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. Oh, we're stopping.
Oh dear, George is not going to see much of the great Aussie outdoors at this rate.
I'm enjoying it. The little ones are enjoying it.
Even Brian's come round.
He's fine.
Living the dream.
At home, days out like this are a rare luxury. For Sam, it's a tempting taste of what their life could be like.
It's great, isn't it? The weather's nice. Just walking around, looking at nature.
Out in the bush.
Yeah?
No problem. Maybe not on a horse.
Not on a horse. You'll take a bike.
You might find that's not such a bad idea, Sam, when it comes to getting off your high horse.
Thanks. Thank you.
Surrendering their stirrups, the family head off for some more wildlife at a local sanctuary.
Oh, bless. Oh, look, she's got a little baby in her pouch.
After the previous day's disappointments, time out together's reminded Brian of why he's been chasing the move.
I'm still convinced that Australia would be a good move for the kids. That I think they would really enjoy growing up in an outdoor environment, yeah. It's the lifestyle that I'm looking for. The outdoor life with the kids is basically what I want to show them, what I want them to have. It's sort of like I had when I was a child.
For Sam, the day's definitely been a winner.
It'd be nice just to like come down here like on a Sunday afternoon and just have a walk around, bring a picnic.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Today's been Brian's best chance at winning his wife and stepson round. So has it worked?
After a busy day of activities, it's now time to vote.
Decided.
I'm actually pleased that it's undecided.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased. Obviously, an Australia vote would have been better for me, but I'm pleased that you're actually considering it.
An undecided vote from Georgie could mean his reluctance to leave the UK is beginning to weaken. But could the Zemans afford a life down under?
Let's do this.
We've provided the couple with a comparison of costs in the UK and Australia. Sam and Brian tackled the weekly food bill first.
So, broccoli's more expensive, yeah?
Okay, so we won't eat vegetables. Bacon potatoes, $1.98 in the UK, £3.22 over here. That's a big increase.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, look, toilet tissues are cheaper.
Okay, that's good news. Meat and sausage and stuff, that's cheaper, that's good.
Right, so we don't eat any vegetables, we just eat meat and use a lot of toilet rolls.
So, how does it all add up?
That's £23.22 worse off. What do you think?
It's only £23.22. It's not like the end of the world, is it?
I'd pay that for the son.
With the couple spending just under £100 a month more on food, they move on to tackle the bigger bills. Brian and Sam spend £1,000 a month on rent in the UK. Based on the second property they saw, their mortgage in Australia would be £200 a month higher, but savings could come too.
Gas is cheaper. Oh wow, that is cheaper. 113 in the UK and it's £29 here. Electricity, that's cheaper as well. It balances itself out really, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, TV licence, we pay £12 in the UK, pay nothing here.
No, £12.
No TV licence here.
That's, yeah. Well, everyone's outside. It'd be pointless, wouldn't it?
So what's the total figure on the outgoings?
£88 worse off in Australia.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's definitely...
No, I'm fine with that. It's £88. It also, obviously, it depends on the income.
Of course.
If the income's lower.
Of course, that does make a massive difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
After bills, the couple have around £1,600 left over each month in the UK. So if they could get jobs down under, taking their potential salaries into account, would they be better or worse off?
There's a difference of 400 and...
We'll be £410 worse off per month.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I know that it's not going to be like that forever because obviously you're going to
money goes
go
up as you go up through the ranks, yeah. So,
but it's still going to be a lot of pressure for now.
Sam's trying to stay positive, but the financial facts are a blow for Brian.
How are you feeling?
disappointed, yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, the heart says Australia, the brain says don't do it.
Exactly.
It's time to vote.
After going over the figures with the giant calculator, it's time to vote on the reality check.
UK!
Okay, well...
I'm quite surprised you chose the UK, actually.
£410.
Yeah. No matter how you dress it up or dress it down, we're still going to be losing £410 a month, which is a lot of money to lose. So considering that you've picked the UK twice this week, it looks like we might be staying in the UK.
Who knows? Maybe. My head says UK, heart says Australia.
Seeing the figures in black and white has been a real reality check for Brian. And with the toughest challenge of all still to come, his dream could be fading fast. George's biggest opposition to a move has always been the thought of leaving friends and family. So having chosen to watch them together, will messages from home prove a final hurdle Brian can't overcome?
Hi guys!
I'm Ronnie. Hi Sam. Hi children.
Hi Zeman, hope you're having a wonderful time.
Hope you're enjoying your time away. Hope everything's gone well for you.
And we've got a big hello here from Lucy.
Oh my God, it's me mum.
The Zemans are an amazing family. They are bubbly and fun to be with.
She's a good liar.
Yeah. How much did we pay her?
Brian, being my big brother, is very protective. I think only this year he started letting me wear makeup, which was nice.
Sam is bright and bubbly. She's got an amazing sense of humour.
I love being around her. I love being around the children.
Such pride and joy can come from having grandchildren. The four of them are so adorable and I love them to bits.
And I can't do it. I'm sorry. I will feel as if my heart has been ripped out my chest.
Selfishly, pull the bottoms go.
Don't give us love.
If Georgie was halfway around the world, as a dad, it would be very difficult for me. Georgie being my only son, and Georgie means my world, I just don't know what I would do without him.
I would really miss the Zemans if they move away to Australia, especially Sam. She's one of my closest friends. We have such a laugh together. Just wonderful person. I'd miss her.
If you decide to go and live in Oz, I'm not sure how we're going to fill that void. But whatever you decide, please remember that we love you very much.
You know you will love it. Think of the kids. Think of how happy you will be out there. Do it. Just do it.
Georgie, I just want to say I'm going to miss you so much, mate. It'll be heartbreaking if you do go. But I will support you in whatever you do and we'll make it work, mate. I love you loads.
And I personally wish you everything in my whole being that you will end up making the right decision for the family.
And I love you. And that's forever.
How was that for you? Clearly emotional?
Yeah, it's just, I'm sad to see my family upset. So how's that made you feel, Georgie? What's your way of thinking now?
Yeah, if he was quite far away, I don't think like FaceTime or anything would be enough. I think I would still miss him.
Well, rightly so.
It's been a week that's thrown into sharp focus the financial and emotional costs a move would entail. So after a week discovering everything they'd stand to gain and lose, have Brian and Sam been convinced their life really would be better down under? And has Georgie seen enough to sign up to the move? It's been a week of real highs and lows for the Zemans.
This week has confirmed a lot of what I thought of Australia. It is a really beautiful place. I mean, honestly, it's everything I want. I want outdoor lifestyle, it's safe for children, it's fantastic.
Brian had his heart set on emigrating to Australia, but since finding out about the job situation over here, I think that's disheartened him a bit. You got me wet!
Their time in Perth may have swayed Sam towards a move.
This is everybody's dream, you know, coming out and immigrating to a lovely, beautiful country. There's so much here for the kids and for us as well, for me and Brian.
But it's always been Georgie who could have the final say. Brian feels his stepson's given Australia a fair shot.
Georgie has done what we've asked him. I think he has opened up to moving out here, or at least giving it a try.
As their final vote approaches, everyone's aware of the importance of their choice.
This is definitely a big decision, like huge decision for me. I've got my choice set in my mind, and I feel pretty confident about it.
If Georgie votes for the UK, yeah, I would be disappointed, but I won't go showing it to them, and I'll just accept what they have to say.
This is going to decide our future for us, whether we're going to emigrate to Australia and make a new life for ourselves, or we go back to the UK and carry on as the way we are.
So, where does the Zemans' future lie?
So after a long week with lots of ups and downs, it's now time to do our final vote.
Undecided.
United Kingdom.
What?
You didn't see that coming, did you?
No way! You was the one, right? You was the one that were like, oh, I need to persuade Sam and Georgie, and yet you are undecided.
I know. It's only financially and because of jobs.
Well, that was a given, you choosing home.
Yeah.
I would have liked a bit more thought on it and hoped you might have gone undecided. Straight in for the UK. Me and you aren't talking. You want to live here, right? You want to work here. You want the outdoor life. You choose Australia, not undecided.
I'm sorry, everyone.
With an undecided vote from Brian and a clear vote for the UK from Georgie, it looks as if, for the time being at least, it will be the UK the Zemans continue to call home. Whatever the future holds for them, we hope it's a happy one. Husband believe a better life could await you on the other side of the world. But what if neither of you have visited the country you've set your heart on and you've got to persuade your reluctant 15-year-old son to join you? The Zemans are a family in crisis.
Do we stay together and work through it, or we just call it a day?
But while Dad Brian's convinced Australia's the answer,
It's not a rat race, is it really? It is a much slower, relaxed way of life.
stepson Georgie doesn't want to leave the UK.
It's all I know, all my friends and family here. I love it and it's great.
And if he won't go, no one will.
He's my baby. And if he was to say, Mum, I don't want to go, then I wouldn't go.
With more than 10,500 beaches, at the rate of one a day, it would take nearly 30 years to explore all the sun and sea Australia has to offer. Laid out straight, the country's coastline would reach right around the world. And with more kangaroos than people, there's plenty of room for the 34,000 Brits that head down under every year, hoping to make the country their new home.
Desperate for more time together, pilot Brian Zeman has set his sights on a move to Australia. Wife Sam could be on board, but only if the country offers them the lifestyle they're yearning for, and they can persuade her son to join them. By the end of their week down under, they'll either have their dream cleared for takeoff or have the brakes put on a move for the foreseeable future.
It takes the Zemans an exhausting 20 hours in the air to get to Australia. And as they touched down in Perth, even seasoned airman Brian's felt the strain.
It was a long flight, especially with 3 naughty monkeys.
For Sam, the flight was nothing less than torture.
Sleep deprivation, annoyance, anger.
Generally all the emotions.
Yeah, generally all the emotions you could ever dream of and think of.
With the trip behind them, Brian's cautiously optimistic about the week ahead.
It feels good to finally get here. Hopefully it lives up to its expectation and does the work for me.
But George is only too aware of the pressure on him.
Very nervous. I'm gonna try and be open-minded. Yeah, gonna try.
Brian will need to have both feet on the ground this week if he's to persuade Sam and Georgie Australia's where their future lies. Back in the UK, the Zemans live in Essex. Their dad, Brian, mum, Sam, 15-year-old Georgie, Sam's son from a previous marriage, Gracie, aged 6, twins Isabel and Lewis, who are 5, and Obi, the dog. Sam charmed Brian 8 years ago in a nightclub.
The words were, "You're a bit of all right, would you like to buy me a drink?"
Yeah.
And you did.
The couple married 2 years later, but Brian's high-flying career as a pilot means family life's far from what it should be.
Potentially I'm away for 3 weeks a month, which is a long time to be away.
Being mostly home alone has seen Sam struggle.
I become 2 parents, a mum, dad, and I also work, so it's a lot to deal with.
And left her feeling isolated and lonely.
And I have got friends, but it's not the same as, you know, having your husband around. Oh my God! It's not the same as, you know, having your husband around to support you.
Being separated from his family hasn't been easy for Brian either.
Missing out